In this video, I'm going to be going over a bunch of creatures that I think need a TLC update in Ark Survival Ascended. And with Ark Survival Ascended, I think it's very possible that there could be a TLC update in the future, considering the game has multiple years worth of updates coming with new maps and stuff, so it could be a TLC update, and these are the creatures that I'd want them to make a TLC on if they do. Starting the list off is the Carno. The Carno is kind of derpy looking, and it could definitely use with a sprucing up of its looks, as well as it doesn't really have much abilities, as like just has basically a hit and a bleed attack. And I've got some people commenting on my videos saying that it did get a TLC update, which I don't think adding a bleed attack is an entire TLC update. Like just giving it one bleed attack is more just like a buff, not a full-on TLC. Like I'd want it to like have a new model and have a bunch of new abilities, not just adding a bleed attack to it. So yeah, that's the Carno, and I definitely think there could be some cool abilities, maybe like a charge attack or something. I don't know, I'm sure someone will comment about some cool abilities, but I'll be making sure to read those. Next we have the Plesiosaur. This creature gets hated on a lot, which I don't think is necessary because it is actually pretty good and I use it a lot, but that doesn't mean I don't think it needs a TLC. It definitely does need a TLC. First of all, the model isn't the greatest. I mean, I don't think it's that bad, but it could definitely use some improvements, like some major improvements, and I think it could look great. As well as it's just extremely hard to hit with, like just trying to attack something, it's like super hard to hit with, and the turning radius makes it like absolutely horrible to try to fight stuff with, unless you're fighting it like dead on, because most creatures are gonna like try and get behind you and stuff, which I feel like there definitely needs to be a fix for that as well, because currently that is extremely annoying to deal with. And of course it needs some abilities too, because it only has its one bite. Next we have the Bronto, which this is like the main sauropod of Ark Survival Evolved. Of course they don't really have many sauropods in the game. The Bronto is one of the few ones, and for being the main one, it is not really that good. Basically all it has is a tail attack, and then it has a kind of a derpy looking model. It's not that bad, but it's not the best. I think a TLC update could make this thing look absolutely insane. It could have so many cool abilities. I don't really know, maybe like a cool stomp attack or something, more than just a tail whip. I feel like there could be so much more to this thing. As well as, like I've said, being the only sauropod in the game, I think it definitely needs some improvements. Not the only sauropod, but like one of the very few main ones. And then we have another underwater creature, this one being the Mosasaur. This one, I feel like it could be a lot better. I mean, it's still pretty decent, but if I don't find myself using it that much, because there's a lot better alternatives like the Basilow and the Tuso. The Tuso is like way stronger, and the Basilow has the ability to not be stung by jellyfish and eels, which I feel like is a main problem with this thing, because it's being so big and strong, and yet I get hit by one jellyfish, and I'm basically screwed and can't do anything about it, which is really annoying. Like, I wish I had more reasons to use this thing, because the Mosasaur is one of the coolest creatures. So I feel like giving it like a brand new model, making it stronger, maybe not making it stronger because it is pretty strong, I don't know. But just giving it new abilities, making it look better, could definitely go a long way in improving this thing. And then we have the Giga. This is one I definitely think needs a TLC, mainly because it's such a useful creature and like well known, but yet it doesn't really have much abilities. It basically just has the bite, and then that's it. The ability is that it rages on you and then kicks you off, but that's not really an ability you can actually use. As well as the model. Honestly, I think the model is pretty cool, and it's not that bad, but it definitely can be improved as shown in this picture here. This is a comparison from the Paleo Ark mod, where they made a full TLC of it, and as you can see, it looks absolutely amazing and just shows how much the Giga can be improved with a TLC update, which makes me want one even more for this creature. As well as the roar on it is not really the greatest either. I think they could spruce that up. Considering it's like the biggest carnivore on the entire island, I feel like its roar should also be the most intimidating, but it's not really. This is the last underwater creature on the list, but I think honestly this one might need it the most, and this is the Megalodon. I have a lot of reasons for this, but first off, I've had some people say that the Megalodon has already had a TLC update because they gave it a bleed attack and a pack bonus, but that's not really, I mean, that does make it useful, but I feel like that's just more of a buff than a TLC update. This thing definitely needs some improvements. First off, the looks. I mean, it just doesn't really look that great. I feel like they could make it look absolutely menacing. I mean, it's a Megalodon after all. Also, the obvious, please make it bigger. It's so small. It's like the size of a great white shark. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. I think the biggest great white shark ever found is just a little bit smaller than that Megalodon. Like, I feel like the Megalodon is supposed to be, like, absolutely massive. I mean, not, like, crazy big, but it's bigger than that. I know that for sure. And I think having a huge Megalodon that is way more menacing looking would be absolutely amazing. If they did do that though, they would have to lower the spawn rates, because Megalodons, they have like 50,000 spawns on the map at all given times. But I definitely think making it bigger, giving it a cooler model, and giving it some new abilities as well could definitely make the Megalodon one of the best underwater creatures in the game. Alright, but moving on from my Megalodon rant, we're going to go on to the Cuzzel. the Quetzal is definitely one I think should get a TLC for a lot of reasons. Mainly because back in the day, like in like 2016, 2017, the Quetzal used to be like the best flyer in the game, and like everybody had one, and it was like the goal to reach to because it was like one of the hardest creatures to tame. But now like the RG is way better than it, and then pretty much every way, other than like the Quetzal has a few niche uses. But I miss when the Quetzal was like the best flyer in the game, and I wish they would make it better than the RG because it's harder to tame than an RG, and it feels like they're like right progression. As well as it just needs some new abilities and some updates. It could definitely use with a new model, even though I do like the Quetzal look, but I think it could be improved. And it could definitely use with some new abilities as well, because right now it just has the standard like beak hit attack, and then it can pick up stuff or like pick up dinos. I feel like it could be given some cool abilities. I'm not entirely sure what. I'm sure someone could come up with something cool in the comments, but I'm sure Art could also figure it out if they did make a TLC update. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.